Hey, Shalom. Kahala, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Chahudash, the ones of the apostles of great millstone, and Shalom to you brothers in the highways and byways doing the works sincerely and faithfully and continually fighting the good fight of faith. Lord willing, we are found in that number to be delivered. And I say Shalom to some of you sisters who truly believe and trust in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. May the Lord have mercy upon you to be delivered as well. All right, as you see, the title, The American Dream is Over, right? And little do people know that this country is walking on thin ice, all right? It's walking on thin ice, and ultimately it's going to be the thermonuclear missiles that are going to be shot over here that's going to finish it off, all right? But in the meantime, in between time, we're seeing prophecy unfold. We're seeing these things happen right before our very eyes. Now, why is it saying the American dream is over? Because the things that you used to call great, the things that used to be known as icons, the way of life that you used to live and the proudness of it, these things are now coming to an end. You have more Edomites at each other's neck than any time in history, man. So this thing is going down. We are here. We are here, and it's just about over, man. And we're going to prophesy until the day it is finally finished. All right? So let me jump over to a couple of scriptures. This is 2 Ezra 6:22. And it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. Right? Now, to the rest of the world, America's a sown place. And this is why all these countries, they have their citizens trying to flee here to America. Because they believe that life is more sustainable here. Or you have a better opportunity or better chance at life. All right, but that's just that's just a smoke and mirror, observation, if you will. All right, this place is about to be turned upside down, man. And what's going to be one of the driving forces of this place being turned upside down? Famine, lack of food. That's going to be a driving force when this bad boy starts to go down, man. The lack of food. All right. And knowing that, the scriptures speak about these things, we ought to be that much more aware, and our senses that much more heightened. The times of playing games and thinking things are a joke are long gone. All right. Now, I want to play this video, but I'm going to have to put, let me see if it'll play. I got to take it off airplane mode. I got it on there because I'm trying to make a little bit of money by selling a few things. And this shit ain't going to go well, man. This shit is not going to go well.
President. Thank you, Mr. President.
I'm not going to play the whole clip.
Gosh, Mr. President, I wish I didn't have to give this talk. I think it's a bipartisan observation that unfortunately Americans are paying a lot more for just about everything. I asked my staff to put together some inflation numbers, and they're just breathtaking. Gasoline up 50%. Rental cars up 42.9%. You need a used car or truck? They're up 26%. A turkey, 20.2%. Bacon, 20.2%. Beef, 20.1%. Pork chops, 15.9%. Bedroom furniture, 12% higher than last year. Eggs, 11.6% up. Televisions, up 10%. Frozen fruits and vegetables, up 7.5%. Chicken, up 8.8%. Shoes, up 8%. Baby food, up 8%. Children's clothes, up 7.6%, and I could keep going.
All right, so you heard all the percentages of what's happening concerning the food and concerning just consumer goods. All right, this is no joke. This is happening, man. This is going on. All right, and the prophecies have forewarned and told us these things were going to happen. Now, as the rubber meets the road, now we're gonna see who's really about it, man. What you gonna do when there's no food? What are you gonna do when there's no water? Okay? These are the things now that you have to really start thinking about, because before you know it, it's gonna be at your doorstep. All right? It's gonna be right at your damn doorstep. Damn. All right. All right, let me see if I can get this thing operating correctly. Just bear with me for a minute. All right, this is 2nd Ezra 15. And I'll start at, as we all know, and I'm going to say this too. I mean, 2nd Ezra is the 15th chapter is a very important chapter, I would say. All right, brothers, from the apostles on down to elders and brothers, and even lay people who are now picking up the Apocrypha, because, you know, I'll say primarily because of the men of great millstone from the head apostles on down. We're always going into these prophecies in the Apocrypha. A lot of people don't recognize the Apocrypha. They don't like to use the Apocrypha. But this Apocrypha, man, you get these prophecies are getting down, man. These prophecies are getting down right here in the Apocrypha. So going back to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, I'm going to start at verse 14. It says, "Woe unto the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands." All right? This is the time that we're coming into, man. All these things have to come to pass. All these things have to happen before Babylon gets destroyed. All right? But as I was stating at the outset, one of the driving forces that's going to bring these people to their feet is the lack of food, man. Famine. Okay? What else could make a man want to go and kill his neighbor just because? You know? So the lack of bread, the famine, is going to play a major role in these last days that we're living in. Okay? It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power." All right? What does it say? It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another." All right? Food, famine, lack thereof. What's going to cause a man to leave his home and walk across the street to his neighbor's house and blast his head off his shoulders because he got food in there? When you become hungry or thirsty, you become irrational. If you've suffered the lack of food for that long a period of time, you become irrational. There's no understanding in an irrational man. All right? And this is why the scriptures say here in 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter, that one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Okay? People are going to fight against another. Now, well, I'm not talking about the fighting against another, meaning in the wartime. I'm talking about here in Babylon, because why? What did we read? Going back, 2 Ezra 6:22, and it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. As you look out this window at this moment we speak, which is 2:42 in the morning, it's a sown place, man. Everything is in order. There's nobody running up and down the street screaming and hollering. You don't hear gunfire. You don't see cars crashed into each other and bomb fires all over the place. You don't see all that. But the time is coming where you're going to see that. Why? Because this place is going to be unsown. It's going to be out of control. Survival of the fittest is going to be out here. All right? And we're coming into some very serious times, man. We read 2 Ezra all the time, the 15th chapter all the time. But once you start reading it with understanding and recognizing the magnitude of what the scriptures are saying, a lot of you people should be in fear right now, because you just don't know what's coming. You just don't know if you're going to be able to feed your kids and go down and grab something out the freezer and throw it on the grill or put it on the burner. You just don't know if you're going to be able to do these things. You see? Open that back up. And it says, where we at? Oh, Slakia. Go back where we were. And it says, verse 17, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And men shall be afraid. One thing a man will always profess, that he fears no man. Okay? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay? Their house is destroyed, and men shall be afraid. You use your home as a source of protection. You can lock the doors, you can lock the windows, you can put, boards up over the doors and bars over them. You can do all those things. But when your home gets destroyed, then what do you have? Nothing. All right? Like I said, you need to start understanding the magnitude of what 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter is saying, man. When it speaks about a man's home being destroyed, a man's home is his castle. Okay? Verse 19 says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Why is that? And as I was saying, when famine sets in, irrational minds take over. You don't care about how many newborns are sitting in that house. You don't care of how close of a relationship you may have with these people in the house. You don't care about those things anymore. the one thing that is important to you is to know that you have mouths to feed and you yourself are hungry as well. All right? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. Okay? If you looking out your window and you see your neighbor coming to your house with some type of instrument in his hand, I'm not talking about musical instrument, some type of weapon in his hand, you best believe it's going to be game on when he gets to your house. It's going to be game on. And it says, and shall spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. Okay? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. And once this famine, once these ships stop bringing food, these truckers stop going to different locations to bring groceries or what have you, it's going to get real, man. It's going to get real fast. You see? All these containers down in these different ports, you think that's a coincidence? That's no coincidence, man. All right? There's no coincidence. They're about to put the squeeze on you. All right? They're about to test you to see what you really are about. Half you people gonna give in, okay? You're gonna give in. You're gonna give in to that mechanism that they're gonna stick in your hand. You're gonna give in to that, man. Because ultimately, this is what all this is going to lead to. Cutting the lifeline to the people and putting a clamp on it. You know how when a baby's born, you sort of puts that clamp on the umbilical cord. He puts it on there too goddamn early, first of all. But what he ends up doing is stopping the nutrients from going into the baby. All right? That's the kind of clip that Esau's are going to put on you people here in Babylon. He's going to put that clip on you. It's going to sever you from being able to go out and buy food, get food, eat food, taste food, unless you get that chip. All right? That charagma. Here we are, 2021, and people think that America's going to get better. You watch the news and they're interviewing people, who've taken, the venom, and their words are, I just want to get out of this thing. I just want things to get back to normal. What don't you people get, man? What don't you get and what don't you understand? There's no such thing as normal anymore. Alright, so from there, let's go. I had another video. I'm kind of hesitant to put this damn thing back on. Alright, let me try to play this clip right here.
Crypto.com Visa card. A metal card. Powered by crypto.
Hoarding is back as food shortages hit the supply chain. Hiring surge, but workers aren't coming back. And yields collapse as the Fed is set to taper. All that and more on today's show. I'm your host, Steve Van Meter, and thanks for joining me today because food shortages are back. Aisles are being cleared, and this is a huge problem as we face a potential recovery in the economy that could send the recovery headed right back the other direction. Let's take a look and see what the headline is as people are hoarding. Food shortages are the next supply chain crunch. And this story is real, my friends, because there is plenty of food. This was as of last month. There just isn't enough processing transportation capacity to meet the rising demand as the economy revs up. That's right. We just need more people to go back to work. And more than a year and a half after the coronavirus pandemic up into daily life, the supply of basic goods at U.S. grocery stores and restaurants is once again falling victim to intermittent shortages and delays, and people are hoarding. And what do you think will happen over the next 6 months? The CEO Adon said prices, well, they're going higher. And sure enough, here's a story from today. Global food prices are getting closer to a record high. And the issue with inputs and fertilizers and its implications for next year's crop is concerned. Now, if you're struggling here with what's going on with fertilizer, what is the biggest input in fertilizer? Yeah, oil. So high oil prices lead to high fertilizer prices. And guess what the knock-on effect is?
All right, so you get the gist. Pause that real quick. All right, you get the gist of what the situation is here. All right, be prepared to go hungry, as the title says. Be prepared to go hungry. All right, people are laughing, people are bullshitting, people think it's a joke. All right, remember this. You was warned. You have been told. You have been shown. You've been informed. You've been edified. And if you take not heed the warning, that's on you. Your blood is on your own hands. All right? Your blood is on your own hands. So, all right. So that's just about it. The time is coming where this place is finished, man. There's nothing else you can really say about this place. The sins have reached up into the heavens. The powers that be have exacerbated the resources, the minerals, the land, the air. They've just gone right through it, man. And there's only one thing but for this place is to be hit by the nuclear missiles. Alright, so with that, I'm going to end on that. Lord willing, I'm going to see you brothers in another show. GMS on the streets, Boston on the streets. We got some strikes on there, so we're going to lay low on that page for a while until it comes back. But this channel here, GMS Boston, hopefully elect 444. We'll be putting out videos up on this show here until Esau gets a hold of them. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.